Hi, this is Swan with Swan Amity Studios, and we are continuing to stitch out all of the different stitches, decorative stitches, on the B-77 Bernette. We are starting today's video with stitch 134. Now this one is going fairly quickly. It is moving the fabric a little bit from side to side, or I'm sorry, not side to side, up and down as it moves through the feed dogs. Now, one of the things I like to tell all of my students is that even though every machine is a little bit different, every machine is going to give you some kind of way to focus on your foot as you stitch things out. And that may be on some machines have a little red dot on the foot that you can focus on. You can keep your guideline lined up well with the little red dot. And in other cases, like with the B-77, I'm just aiming at that little slot in the middle. And that little slot in the middle lines up exactly with where my needle lands in the center. Now that's a good indicator as to where I should begin and why I'm always lining up my foot with my little centering guideline. Now these little asterisks we've been creating here, very nice. This is the default size, and I think they're great this way. I would definitely make them smaller on some projects, but to get started with, I think this was great. So this is 134. The stitch starts from the middle, and this is the default size. Let's go ahead and move to stitch 135. Now this is one that we can see on the display. It's going to give us a little flower with a little bit of a curve. And this goes back to my point about making sure that you have something to reference as to where you're lining up. So as we, let's move that just a little further in there. As we drop our presser foot down and put our needle in, we want to make sure that we are lined up with the center of our foot. And then we're going to be watching that extra closely because of that curve in the design. So here we go. Now the curve in the design often is going to move really quickly and then make a little flower in the design. So you have to be prepared for the fact that the fabric is going to move at different rates. A little slower as it makes the more complex portion, a little faster as it makes the big swoosh. And this one stitches out nice and quickly. I am impressed with that. Let's take a look at what we have. A lovely little chained blossom, very simple. Look how nice and neat that wiggle is. And that's because we were paying attention. We were keeping our line nice and straight all the way through. Now I could see how that one could become a favorite. Let's mark that down as 135. This one starts us nicely in the middle, and you can see that as it began up here. And this is our default size. That's definitely one I'm going to want to run in some different sizes. Now 136, we're going to have just a swirling shape, and I'm seeing several uses for this. Let's talk about it as we go along. Let's get that aligned in there. We're going to drop our needle down. This one is starting all the way from the left-hand side. We're still going to be paying attention to our guideline going through the center. Now every once in a while it's nice to have something in your arsenal that looks like free motion but isn't. And this is kind of a nice decorative stitch that makes us get that illusion of something that looks like it could have been done with free motion. Now the fun part about that is you might be finishing a free motion project and you want to just add a little something to the edge of a portion of your project, but you'd like for it to be uniform. This is a great time to pull something out of your decorative stitches that looks like it fits with a free motion concept and add that to the edge of your piece. So keep this in mind if maybe you wanted to do something that had a little bit of a ribbon effect or over the top of a ribbon in a project. Look how fun that could be. And of course, as a decorative stitch, you didn't have to do any work. Just find the size that you like and go for it. So I think that's a great little add-on. I'm going to mark that one 136. We're going to say this one starts all the way from the left, and this is the default size. This, I think, could be really fun for a lot of different projects. I'm also kind of seeing from the side, it looks a little bit like waves curling in the ocean. So you could think of that as maybe a great edger for an ocean quilt as well. Thank you for watching. Keep with us as we stitch out every decorative stitch on the B-77 and find out exactly what they look like. Thank you, and don't forget to stitch happy.